the first time you do it, it's so nerve-wracking, whether it's discomfort or asking for something that makes you feel uncomfortable. And then all of a sudden gradually it opens up this kind of freeing environment within yourself where you're like, oh, that didn't turn out so bad. Like I asked that person for help and they were so willing to help me. And then I asked that person, to share my post and they did it right away. And then all of a sudden, not only do you ask for help when you need it, but you're so much more empathetic and you're so much more willing to help other people. And then it becomes this cycle of you helping others and others helping you. And that's how, growth in general happens.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're just stuck alone and you're helping nobody and you're not being helped and you just kind of stall.
Yeah. It also it attracts the people it's a great filter too, right? Because like somebody who's going to help you is open-minded and empathetic and kind, most likely. But it also like, if I was never sharing what I wanted to do, you and I would never have connected. And if you were never sharing what you wanted to do, we never would have found that middle ground. And same with Amar. And I think that the beautiful thing is we weren't afraid to like ask each other for like help in different areas. It's kind of like, I think one of our friends, Ben Nemton, who actually is on the show Buried Life, says that you're drastically more likely to actually make something happen if you write it down, and you're even more likely to make it happen if you have like an accountability buddy, so somebody who holds you accountable or who can potentially help you, because now you're making it real, right? Like so many people in the back of their minds think like, oh, I'll run a marathon one day maybe, but if you start to take the steps towards it and tell people you're going to do it, immediately now it's real. So it's very easy to get stalled and never have anything happen. But I really like the way you mentioned it too, about in relationships asking for what we want. It's so important.
Yeah. And I think we struggle to ask for stuff because we also haven't invested enough to ask, in the sense of like, even when you guys are doing a trick on the Chelsea football players, you've still invested in making a contract. Like you've got into that place. Whereas if you just walked in and walked up to them and said, hey, do you want to sign for my club? And there was no contract, you hadn't planned it out.
Right.
They probably wouldn't have agreed, or there would have been no video. It would have been just some silly prank video. But it's when you've created a scenario, and similarly in our lives, like if you've invested in a relationship with someone or you've put some time and energy into it, you then feel that you're able to ask. And I think that's why we struggle to ask, because we've not really brought anything to the table. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So interesting.
Yeah, no, it's cool. I like looking at it for you guys because you guys are doing this on a daily basis. Like the amount of times you've heard the word no, like you called yes theory, but you probably heard more no's than anyone in the world, I'm guessing, at this stage. Because what was like the biggest no? Like when you tried a new video idea or you tried a concept and it was just like, nope, like this, it's not going that way.